Welcome to the Lone Ranger Radio Show with Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage. Yes, I am the Lone Ranger. Thanks for tuning in today. Even if you're not looking to buy or refinance a home, there's plenty of opportunities for me to help you, your friends, and your family. Maybe you need an equity line of credit. Maybe you'd like to invest in the stock market. Maybe you would like to buy another property or pay your kids' student loans off. It could be any number of reasons you might need some additional money. Now, what about the difference between a home equity line of credit to consolidate debt versus a refinance? A lot of folks don't want to get rid of that low interest rate that they have on their 30-year fixed rate mortgage, yet they're carrying a ton of debt. You don't want to do that, folks. And here's the thing. You may have an opportunity to consolidate that debt into some type of an equity line. I provide all kinds of equity lines. Go to WeBringYouHome.com. Right on my homepage, it says apply for a purchase or refinance or apply for a home equity line of credit. Get that home equity line of credit applied for. I close them in as little as 5 days. One thing I do want you to do is I want you to know that my HELOC is all AI driven. It's not driven by a human being. Now, my purchase and refinances, my construction loans, my renovation loans, all our traditional financing is all done through actual human beings that live and reside in the United States of America, the best country in the world. However, the AI is a computer that analyzes your situation. So you got to put your accurate income in. You got to put your accurate assets in. You got to have your documents ready to go because you've only got a few days to get it in. But you want a great equity line and close fast? I got it. I got it right here. Everything you need right here in-house. So now maybe you don't need to refinance. Maybe you don't need any cash out. Maybe you don't want to purchase a home. But you know what? I'll bet you know somebody that does. I'll bet you know somebody that should. I'll bet you know somebody that probably has a lot of debt but has equity in a home that I can help. Would you kindly just think about me? That's all I'm asking. I don't advertise anywhere. Everything I do is informationally driven. I'm always there to help you, your friends, and family. But look, at the fact of the matter is, I'm in the business of helping people save money when it comes to buying or refinancing homes. So why wouldn't you think about the person that's right here in your backyard that can truly handle any type of a residential situation when it comes to financing? Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, Tampa Bay. 813-213-4009. That's 813-213-4009. Or WeBringYouHome.com. Or you can call me in my Orlando number at 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313. All right. So we got some great stuff going on. If you know somebody that's renting right now, I want to tell you about Hometown Heroes. Hometown Heroes is a down payment assistance program. I can get you a minimum of $10,000, minimum $10,000 toward your down payment or your closing costs. I can get you up to $35,000. It's reduced interest rates. It's reduced closing costs. Hometown Heroes, the state of Florida, sets the terms and all lenders have to abide by it. The problem that all lenders have is they don't understand the nuances of the program. And all too often, you either choose a real estate agent that doesn't know how to navigate it, or you've got a bank or lender that can do Hometown Heroes, but they don't know how it works. I had a client the other day, they put $3,000 down in an earnest money deposit to buy a home. Now, normally that's a normal situation, right? $3,000 to $5,000 you put in deposit to show the seller you're in good faith of the contract. It's all good to go. And that $5,000 or $3,000 that you put down goes towards your transaction. Well, that's the same with Hometown Heroes. The problem is that most folks that want down payment assistance, they don't want to come out of pocket with that much money. But with Hometown Heroes, if you put it down, it's down. You don't get it back. No, it's going toward your down payment, but it reduces the amount of cash that you can get for the benefit, for the Hometown Heroes benefit. So if you are a teacher, law enforcement, first responder, military, even the janitor at the school, the teacher, the principal, the vice principal, everyone that falls within these categories is eligible for Hometown Heroes. Now you got to have a minimum of a 640 credit score, if I can get it out of my mouth. You got to make less than $144,000 a year. You have to be a first-time home buyer. But what is a first-time home buyer? It's somebody that has not owned a primary residence in the last 36 months. What about you? What about your friends? I know you're thinking about it right now. You're thinking, hey, I bet Susan and Bert should get that because she's a teacher or he works as a physical therapist at the hospital. Yes, you're right. These are the folks that we're trying to help. The problem that we have is there's only $50 million available, and there's 250,000 people applying for mortgages every year in the state of Florida. That's over 20,000 a month. You think $50,000 is going to last, $50 million is going to last very long? It ain't going to last very long. It's not. It's not going to last. So you either get your butt off the couch or pick up your phone and give me a call. 813-213-4009 or 407-706-3313 or go to webringyouhome.com. Now listen, you folks out there that are interested in this or even buying a home, maybe you're an investor, could be any number of things, and you need a real estate agent. Most of you make bad choices in real estate agent. And I don't mean you make bad choices with bad people. I mean, you make bad choices choosing a real estate agent that does not have the skills to negotiate correctly on your behalf. That's right. I see it all the time. Well, yeah, I already have a realtor, Bruce. I don't need a referral from you. Do you know that my realtors that work under my referral program have to give you up to 25% of their commission back in your pocket so you can use that towards closing costs? Now, does your agent do that? Probably not. Is your agent going to tell you, I don't do it because I'm going to give you full service? Here's the deal. I'm going to give you the best real estate agent in the area that you're looking in. How do I know it? Because I don't refer people I haven't worked with before. I don't refer people that don't meet my criteria. And I don't add realtors to my list just because they want on my list. And granted, I have some top producing real estate agents in the Tampa, Jacksonville, Orlando, Daytona market. They have been dying to get on my referral list, and they're top producers. But you want to know something? They're arrogant. They don't negotiate. They stick a sign in the yard and hope that one of my agents brings a buyer by. They just are listing professionals, and they're very good at getting listings. But anybody can get a listing and put a sign in the yard. All you got to do is put the sign in the yard, and they don't even do that themselves. They hire a company to do it. Then they hire their assistant to put you in MLS. You're in MLS, and then that qualified agent that I referred you to brings a buyer. Now, why don't you just go to the right agent? Now, for those of you that feel guilty because your mother-in-law or your boss's wife or the lady down the street that's so sweet is a real estate agent, or it's your cousin or your sister's brother, who the hell knows who it is? The problem is you start mixing business and family, and you're going to make a very stressful turkey dinner at Thanksgiving. So don't do it. Call me, tell the relative, I really appreciate your help, but I got to be honest with you. I don't want to mix my personal life with my business. And I just as soon find my own people. And that's how you do it. You call the Lone Ranger, I'll connect you with a real estate agent. They'll give you up to 25% of their commission back in your pocket. You know how much they pay me for those valuable referrals? Now, listen, these referrals, I don't even refer the client out until you're 100% fully approved for your loan. Not pre-qualified, not pre-approved, fully approved. Why do I do that? Because I believe that if I have a client fully approved, I can be a better advocate for you when it comes to negotiating your real estate transaction. So think about this. Let's just say you're pre-qualified. I've pulled a credit report and I've seen a pay stub, but I don't know about the child support, the divorce payments, the whatever it is, the student loans that didn't show up, the collections that didn't show up that will later. I don't know about all that because why? Because it's just a pre-qualification. Now, banks that do this all the time, they call it a pre-approval, but it's really a pre-qualification. They haven't seen everything. Do you want your doctor to do surgery on you before he's actually examined you? I don't think so. So you don't want your lender to do it either. So I gather everything up. Once I've got all your documents and I've fully approved your loan, here's where it makes the difference. And here's what I do that no one else does. I will physically call the listing agent. That's the agent that represents the seller. I will tell that listing agent that I will close your transaction in 21 days or less without any hiccups, providing their listing appraises and there's no issues with inspections. That's out of our control. Okay. As long as there isn't, I guarantee I can close in 21 days or less. I've closed them in 10 days. Now, I tell that listing agent that if I do not close your transaction on time and I don't come through with all of my promises, I will pay your seller up to $500 per day for every day that we miss that closing. How many times, folks, do you think I've had to pay that? You can count them on one finger. And believe it or not, that one mistake I made was because it was a USDA transaction and nobody told me it was on well and septic, and we had to get a well and septic analysis, and it cost me a day and I paid the seller. But you know what? It was an oversight and I came to the table. It missed it by one day and I made sure everybody was compensated for it. Why? Because I'm a man of my word. That's why. But we don't want those mistakes to happen. So we cover our bases up front. And that's why I fully approve loans rather than pre-approve or pre-qualify loans, because I can help you get a better deal. I'll help you negotiate closing costs. This is how you do it. I'm a professional negotiator when it comes to buying homes. You know what? I would tell you, I wish I could act as your real estate agent because I would get you all a great deal. And here's the thing. I watch your real estate agents that you choose negotiate for you, and I have to turn my head and I have to zip my lips and not say anything. Because if I did, I would be undermining your choice of real estate agent. But I look at it and I go, yeah, they just left about 20 grand on the table. Yep. They left 5 grand on the table. Yep. They buckled because the seller said, I'm not going any lower. I'm not going to fix that, or I'm not going to pay the closing costs. You know what it is? Shaboozey. That's what it is. It's shenanigans. They'll do it. You just have to hold out. Now, listen, don't go into these houses and think that let the seller know that this is the best house in the world for you and it's the only one you want. And if you don't have it, you're going to go into a deep and dark depression. We don't do that. That's bad negotiation. You don't unveil the black swan when it comes to that. So listen, you call me, the Loan Arranger, 407-706-3313. That's 407-706-3313. Tampa Bay, 813-213-4009. Or get your application started immediately at We Bring You Home. That's WeBringYouHome.com. Why? Because now's the time to do it. Why? Because I'm going to get you a great deal. Why? Because mortgage rates are falling. Why? Because sellers are willing to pay closing costs. Why? There's a lot of whys here, aren't there? Because now is a great time to negotiate a deal. As soon as these interest rates drop too low, you got no way to negotiate, folks, especially if you're not putting 20 or 25% down. My name is Bruce Woodburn, and I am the Loan Arranger, and I'm here as your advocate. Don't trust your banker, your credit union, or anyone else to go to battle for you. Matter of fact, try calling your credit union after 4 o'clock on a Friday. You might get a call by Tuesday. Try calling the Rocket Mortgage on the weekend and getting an updated pre-approval. See if the Rocket Mortgage will compare their rates to the Loan Arranger's rates, and then you tell me who's better. That's because my name is Bruce Woodburn, and I'm the Loan Arranger, and I'm going to make sure every client, every single client I work with, always gets the very best of the best when it comes to mortgage services. I'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loan Arranger Show. Do not go anywhere. We got some great things to talk about. For self-employed people, you will not want to miss the segment.